Hi, Adam Perschbacher here. Thanks for coming and watching. I know you have a lot of things probably on your plate, things you need to do, so I'm going to make this really quick. I did a little bit of research on the coffee that I switched to find out exactly why it made such a difference in my body. Now again, disclaimer out there, I'm not a health professional, can't get health advice. Consult your doctor always before you make major changes to your diet, especially if you're on prescription drugs or any kind of other medication that your doctor needs to be informed of. And of course, you can always take any of your research that you do after we do these videos and take that stuff to your doctor as well and let him help you make an educated guess on what's going to be best for you and your diet. So without delay, let's go ahead and move on to some of the research that I did so I can show you guys exactly why this coffee makes such a difference in everybody's body. So all right, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so here we are. I'm actually going to be using WebMD for this. There's also like PubMed and the American Health Heart Association. Any kind of government-funded or government-run website are the ones that I like to use just because they include doctors and all that kind of stuff, and that's where you're going to get the most accurate information possible. Always check out your resources that you're looking at. You always want reliable resources. I am here to help inform you on the effects that your coffee could possibly be having on you. But make sure you consult your doctor and talk with him about him or her about possibilities that any of this might be causing. So, like right now, it says caffeine can be both beneficial and harmful for headache sufferers, and in some cases can cause withdrawal or rebound headaches. Now, let's see, it says caffeine is commonly used in increased alertness, decreased fatigue, and improves muscle coordination. We all know that. That's why we drink the stuff. I mean, you know that, I know that. That's why we like it, because it gets us up and it gets us running. But people may vary in their sensitivity to caffeine if used excessively. If used excessively, caffeine can be too stimulating and cause anxiety, sleep problems, muscle twitching, or abdominal pain. So I'm just kind of going through. I'm going to show you some of the places that I've come to and what caffeine has done. And then you can go out and you can do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and talk with your doctor about it and everything else. I'm a very big advocate over people talking with their doctor before they start seriously making changes to their diets. Especially if you're on any kind of prescription drugs, or older in age, or have any kind of other medical, physical problems. Always consult your doctor before you make huge changes. Now, caffeine, help or hindrance? When combined with some pain medications, caffeine can help provide relief. Most migraine sufferers can drink a cup or two a day of coffee without any problems. However, too much caffeine can lead to headaches when the stimulant effect wears off. This means caffeine generally, and we'll go over the half-life here in just a minute. I found this up there. Generally wears off around noon, 1 o'clock or so, and that's why you get the caffeine crashes, because all of a sudden the stimulant's gone, and then you'll get headaches because the stimulant's gone, and now you're dehydrated because you didn't drink any water. That's all very possible. So then now you got a headache and you're ready to go to take a nap, but you can't take a nap because you got a headache. Really annoying. Used to have these problems and absolutely hated it. Thankfully, I don't have these problems any longer, and I attribute it all to my change in my coffee and my change in my diet. Is caffeine likely to cause insomnia? Alright, here's the half-life that I just talked to you about, when it's out of your body and everything else. Your body quickly absorbs caffeine. Here, let me highlight all this so you know where I'm reading. Quickly absorbs caffeine, but it also gets rid of it quickly. Processed mainly through the liver, caffeine has a relatively short half-life. This means it takes about 4 to 5 hours on average to eliminate half of it from your body. Over 8 to 10 hours, 75% of the caffeine is gone. Alright? So for most people, a cup of coffee or two in the morning won't interfere with sleep at night. However, consuming caffeine later in the day can interfere with sleep. If you're like most people, your sleep won't be affected if you don't consume caffeine at least 6 hours before going to bed. Your sensitivity may vary. always consult your doctor and pay attention to what your body is telling you. Alright, now if you drink only 2 or 3 cups of coffee in the morning and you are jittery, restless late at night, they could be caused by your coffee, but you could also have a different health problem that your doctor needs to be notified about and you need to discuss with him. Alright, so people who are more sensitive may not only experience insomnia, but also have caffeine side effects of nervousness and gastrointestinal upset. That just, your stomach hurts. So people that are very sensitive to caffeine, and I've met those people, if they drink, say, like a soda, their stomach hurts. It starts cramping on them, and they get all kinds of jittery just from like a 16 ounce of Coke or whatever. Those are the kind of people that really need to steer away from caffeine as much as possible, as far as I know. But again, always talk to your doctor. So, although caffeine may not be a problem for everyone, it can make some people feel anxious or jittery. Hence, the shakes, or always feeling like you have to be moving fast, and no matter how fast you move, you can't move fast enough. Alright? Caffeine can also increase your heart rate and cause sleeping problems. If you're trying to cut back, be sure to taper off slowly. Stopping caffeine too quickly may cause headaches, nausea, or vomiting. Slowly replace caffeinated drinks with water, herbal teas, or decaf. Now, I didn't use herbal teas or decaf. I kept my coffee. I just switched my brand. Caffeine, myths and facts. Yes. And of course, always come back to WebMD, .org, and you can look at all these things. Caffeine myth or caffeine myth or caffeine fact. It's not always easy to know. Caffeine content can range from as much as 160 milligrams in some energy drinks to as little as 4 milligrams in a 1 ounce serving of chocolate flavored syrup. Even decaffeinated coffee isn't completely free of caffeine. I think we all know that. Decaffeinated just means they've taken some of it out, but they can never take all of it out. Caffeine is addicted. This one has some truth to it depending on what you mean by addictive. Caffeine is a stimulant to the central nervous system, and regular use of caffeine does cause mild physical dependence. Hence, when we wake up, we feel like crap until we have our cup of coffee. Alright? So, my mom was real big on this. My wife is real big on this. She has to have her coffee. My mom, honestly, I would start it on first thing in the morning as soon as she got up when I was a little kid, and she would have to, shut me up somehow so that she could have her cup of coffee, because she just could not operate without her first cup of coffee first thing in the morning. My wife is the same way. You do not want to mess with her before she's had her coffee. You might get hurt. So, stop taking caffeine abruptly. You may have symptoms for a day or two. Alright? And you may have headache, fatigue, anxiety, irritability, depressed mood, difficulty concentrating. That's if you withdraw from caffeine completely. Alright, caffeine is likely to cause insomnia. We already went over that. So let's go to the next page. This is page 2 of the caffeine myths. Caffeine increases risk for conditions. Osteoporosis and caffeine at levels of more than 744 milligrams a day may increase calcium and magnesium loss in urine. Most recent studies suggest it does not increase your risk for bone loss, but it can increase calcium and magnesium loss in your urine. Hence the reason, if you're going to drink coffee, you need to make sure that you're having a healthy diet. Healthy diet is always good, makes us feel good, everything else. Alright, you should limit your caffeine intake to about 300 milligrams or less, obviously. So, blood pressure is common in those who are sensitive to caffeine. So, if you're sensitive to caffeine, your heart rate is probably going to rise. See right here, a slight temporary rise in heart rate and blood pressure is common in those who are sensitive to caffeine. Hence, the nervousness, anxiety, and everything else. Alright, caffeine has a dehydrating effect. Caffeine can make you need to urinate. However, the fluids you consume and caffeinated beverages tends to offset the effects of fluid loss when you urinate. Now, with that said, if you're drinking sugary caffeinated drinks, like you put a lot of sugar in your coffee and you drink it strong, well, this could prove this to be a fact then. It really all depends on your consumption, everything else. That's why it's so important that you consult your doctor and talk to him or her about how much you are taking in. Alright, moving on. Caffeine cannot help you sober up. Caffeine does not harm children, but can get them dependent on it. Alright, 300 milligrams of caffeine daily is safe for kids. But is this smart? Many kids are sensitive to caffeine, developing temporary anxiety or inability with a crash afterwards. Right? We all know what that feels like. Alright, anyway, moving on, dehydration. Yeah, this is just something that, just to kind of show you what dehydration does. Symptoms of dehydration in adults. The signs and symptoms of dehydration can range from minor to severe, depending on your level of dehydration, of course. Increased thirst, dry mouth, and swollen tongue. That's really bad. The swollen tongue, that's really bad. Dry mouth, that just means you need to go get some water. Weakness. Yes, if you get dehydrated, you're going to be weak and lethargic. It's going to suck. You get dizziness because you don't have enough water in your body to maintain the functions that you're doing. Palpitations, feel like the heart is jumping or pounding. Hence, drinking too much coffee also stimulates the heart. Then, if you're dehydrated on top of that because you have a job that makes you sweat a lot, or you're constantly moving and not drinking any water after you drink the coffee, then this could feel like, anxiety attack. And it could very well be. Alright, it could give you confusion, sluggishness, and even fainting. The inability to sweat, that's when you know you're bad. The inability to sweat. If you're doing something that you're supposed to be doing and you're sweating, and all of a sudden you quit sweating and you haven't stopped working, that's a serious problem. Alright, urine color may indicate dehydration. If urine is concentrated and deeply yellow amber, you may be dehydrated. I think we all know this. Alright, so moving on to the next page. Dehydration topic overview. Dehydration occurs when your body loses too much fluid, hence urinating or sweating or both. Not drinking enough fluids can cause muscle cramps. You may feel faint, usually your body can absorb. And you will get a headache if you get too dehydrated. That's where my headaches were coming from. That's what was causing my body to really break down, and I had to seriously take a look at my body. So the first step that I did is I changed my coffee, and that had such a huge impact because it wasn't making me as dehydrated that I started looking at other areas of my life. So the first thing that I did is I changed my coffee because that was the easiest thing to change. Honestly, it was. I still had my coffee. Now, if they said I had to give up my coffee, that would have been the hardest thing to change. But changing from drinking what you find in the stores to what I found, I didn't find as a very big problem at all. So take a very serious look at your diet. Look at how everything is kind of going together. If you aren't drinking enough water, if you're drinking too much alcohol, you don't have to email me any of your results. Talk with your doctor, talk with yourself, talk with your spouse, talk with your kids. All these things. If you're not drinking enough water, you're drinking too much caffeine, you are drinking too much alcohol, then you're going to have a lot of these problems, and you're going to have them on a daily basis. But again, always consult your doctor. Alright, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And if you guys have any kind of questions, definitely hit the reply on any of the emails that I send you. I will get them in my inbox, and I will respond to them as quickly as possible. But for right now, what I want to do is leave you and give you an assignment to go and do your own research. Go and find out what caffeine is doing to your body. Go talk to your doctor. Don't just leave all this stuff up for speculation. Go out there and find the truth. Find the answers that you need. And the more you ask, the more answers that will be provided, and the healthier you'll get, the better you'll feel, and the more you will thank yourself for finally making a change. So, hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for another email that you should be getting from me in the next couple of days to show you why I changed my coffee and what I actually changed my coffee to. So make sure you pay attention, open up my emails, because I'm going to have a special offer in there for you, for the people that are watching my videos. So definitely stay tuned, and we will talk very soon. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.